welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading. And what that is every week you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks, and we'll go through and do a quick spread to see what the energies will be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the last week in January and first week in February in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this video at any time, there may be messages contained for you. We have a saying in card reading. We always say, take what resonates and leave the rest. And that just basically means that when we interpret cards, I like to think of it as dream interpretation. We're just looking at the symbols and seeing what they mean. There's a lot of different combinations of symbol interpretation. So the other thing is that sometimes if you're drawn to more than one deck, or if you're kind of drawn to one deck, there might just be a few messages contained in there. So there might be a few little nuggets of information in there for you. So definitely, if you don't feel like it resonates, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. So you don't have to take it too seriously. It's all in good fun. Now, I always clarify my decks using I always clarify my reads using a oracle deck, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in today. We have 3 decks here. They're decks that I haven't used in a while. We're seeing my mini decks here. But the first deck is the Everyday Tarot by Biddy Esselmont. She also, it's Brigit Esselmont, but she also goes by Biddy Tarot. And with it, we have a beautiful citrine. The middle deck is it's the second official tarot deck that I ever bought, but it's the first deck that I formally learned tarot on, and that is the Greer Tarot, published by US Games. And on top of it is a beautiful piece of sea glass. Sorry, I've got a little bit of the hiccups. I'm going to try not to stutter too much here. The last deck is the Sun and Moon Tarot, and on top of it we have a beautiful obsidian. And to clarify, we're going to be using the Quantum Oracle by Sandra and Taylor, and on top of it we have a quartz point. So I'll go ahead and freeze frame. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. We're kind of moving right along today, guys. It's been a little bit in my day life. It's been a little bit of a long week, so, and it's very cold. We've been getting a lot of snow where I'm at, so I'm trying to hang in there. Friday is almost here, thank goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and see pile number 1, the Everyday Tarot. What is the energies for the next 7 days? Oh, look at this. We got 2 cards. We'll take them. And then middle of the week. Okay, that flipped and tapped. Oh, how nice. How nice, how nice. And then end of the week, please. Yeah, it's the 8. Justice, 8, 9. Okay. Interesting. All right, and let's go ahead, and this is a really beautiful deck. This is called the Quantum Oracle. If you follow my channel, you'll see that I've been doing deck reviews. And this deck we haven't covered yet, but we've got, it's got quite a few, it's a really gorgeous deck. It's an oracle deck that gives kind of keywords. There is a book. And there's several, the top of the cards each of the colors relate to a different theme. Like you have spirit, cycle, consciousness, and there's like 1 through 8 for each. But I like this deck. I use it quite often. We haven't seen it on the channel in a little while, but it's just great for giving pretty clear information. This is interesting. I'm feeling drawn to take this card too, because both of these feelings kind of, both of these images kind of go in tandem with one another. All right, guys, so beginning of the week is really quite interesting. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and you've got the Six of Swords. So what I'm kind of getting is I'm getting the sense that in the beginning of the week, you're going to be kind of starting a new financial endeavor. Um, Maybe you're starting to squirrel away money. For a few of you, this might even be like the first day of a new job. And what I'm kind of getting is with the the Six of Swords, this feels like kind of a steady new beginning. What I'm kind of getting is it's not a real glamorous start. Like whatever you're doing to either save money or to build stability, it kind of, you know what I'm kind of getting is it kind of feels like it feels like the start of something peaceful after a time of a lot of strife, like after a lot of conflict. The Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer waters. But I do kind of look at this card, and especially in this spread, you ever realize that? Have you ever experienced that kind of numb feeling, like when and I'm sorry to say it like this. I don't mean this in a negative way. This actually looks very positive. But have you ever have you ever started something like maybe it's been you've been unemployed for a long time, and then you finally get that new job, and but it's not like, you know, it's not like your dream job, but it's employment, and it's something reliable. So you feel like, okay, you know, this is positive change, but it's not like jumping up and it's not like jumping up and down joy kind of feeling. It's very kind of slow and steady. There's the if you watch this if you watch the How to Tarot for the Six of Swords, and I do encourage you to go ahead and watch that, because this energy is going to be very prevalent. I'm feeling like this is the stronger card, even though the Ace is very powerful. It's a very powerful start to something. But I do get the sense that the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you are doing something like starting to squirrel away money for some kind of goal. Either that, or you've got some kind of you're moving away from something that was a little bit chaotic in your life, and at the beginning of the week you feel like you're starting off on a real grounded foot. The other thing that I kind of get is, especially with this is probably one of the one cards of the Six of Swords that does not show the person, the ferryman, who usually this card is depicted with a third person in the boat, the person who's rowing the boat. And here you see that it's just, you know, it looks like a woman and a child. So it could be quite possibly that maybe you are maybe I'm getting like this feeling like it's me and my baby, right? It's just me. It's you and me together. We're gonna be okay. So this could be a new start. This could be the first day of being in a new place, or being in a new house. And you're kind of very, again, it's a very quiet change. But it's a very steady change, and I feel like you're in that energy at the beginning of the week, like you're planting the seed of something good. It's just right now, and actually I think of the weather. You know, I was talking about how it's snowing out and it's cold and the days are short, but the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe even if it's not something brand new, like it doesn't have to be anything as dramatic as a new job, but maybe I think what it's telling you here is that you are making progress. You are. It's almost like maybe you're getting your tax return, or you're starting again. I'm getting a sense of this being kind of a material change or a material start. And but what you feel like is, you feel like, you know how you have those times in your life where you're not moving along in leaps and bounds. It's again, it's like that slow. It's almost like the boat is just kind of drifting in the direction. It's the change is so gradual that you don't even feel it. Like you're not zooming along, but you are moving. So it's just making it very clear. You know, the beginning of the week, you're starting off in the direction that's going to take you places, and you're planting the seed of something. You're planting the seed of something you can build upon. and it doesn't go fast. The energy of the beginning of the week is slow and steady. It almost feels like you're not moving at all, but you are going the direction of change. So it's just letting you know that. And the change that these slow and steady movements, the pace that you're going is gonna lay the foundation of you having a very strong, either very strong finances, or you're moving in the direction that you want to go. But the big thing, and we talked about this in the How to Tarot, is that with the Six of Swords, it's like a baseline change. There are no highs, but there are no lows either. Like you're not feeling the pit of despair, but you're not feeling the heights of ecstasy. Life does feel a little bit meh, but it's not like you're standing still. You're not pinned to the ground. This isn't the Eight of Swords. You are in the boat and you're going places. And I do kind of feel like you're going someplace with your children too. You feel like you're making progress, and you're taking the steps that you're taking are serving more than just yourself. Now, the middle of the week is really beautiful, guys. This flipped out and tapped. So this is definitely middle of the week. You got the Ten of Cups. You got the Ten of Cups, and again, you see a real beautiful kind of family scene. So, in the middle of the week, I do feel like, beginning of the week is so slow and steady. Middle of the week, you're going to have a high. You're going to have, there's going to be some kind of moment that just makes you really happy. The Ten of Cups is that happiness money can't buy. What I'm kind of getting to is that maybe it's going to be like a happy moment with your family. I love it when those moments come along, because sometimes you just don't see them coming. And especially the middle of the week, this could be some quiet Wednesday, uneventful Wednesday night, and then maybe your child does something funny, or, maybe all of a sudden you hear a good song on the radio and you do the cha-cha around the living room. I kind of get that kind of feeling. The other thing that I kind of get is that, with it being kind of the middle of the week, it could quite possibly be that it can be a little bit of a financial windfall. You kind of have the bookends of Pentacles here. So either that, or maybe if you have a day off in the middle of the week, one other thing I'm getting strongly is maybe you work on certain days, like maybe you work on Tuesdays, Thursdays, or something like that. But your middle of the week is going to be very joyous. It's going to be very joyous. And again, I feel like I feel like this is kind of a living vicariously kind of feeling, like meaning that, maybe your husband is working on something, and they share that activity with you. You know how sometimes you can get so much joy from just seeing what someone else is doing. I do that with my little niece all the time. Sometimes when, my life is really gray, she's doing something exciting, and she'll be like, guess what? Guess what I'm working on? I'm making this. You want to come see it? And you're just, it gives you that happiness. Like, and the same thing in reverse. Sometimes when I'm working on things, and, my niece is having kind of a quiet week, she'll come in and see what I'm doing, or, come over to my house. But but with it being the 10, this is going to be a real high, though. It's going to be something really exciting. The other thing is that maybe you hear from someone, maybe you have a good conversation with a family member. In a love relationship, because the other thing that I do get, one thing I'm seeing here is that you see a woman and a child here, and then you see a woman and a child here, except the addition is the guy, right? The hubby. Maybe if you are a single mom or a single person, and you don't have to have children for this to resonate, but I do get the sense that maybe someone comes to visit, or, safely, but, or you hear from someone and it just absolutely gives you such a thrill, like it makes your day. But you're going to be real happy in the middle of the week. Now, by the end of the week, this is really beautiful. This is different energy, guys. So we have the Nine of Swords, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles, and then we've got Justice. So I'm kind of reading this one of two ways. I really get the sense that, first off, if there's anything If there's anything legal going on, I get the feeling like it's almost like you have to work harder. It's almost like you feel like you have to earn more money or something like that. Like you have to really push yourself because you're stressing. You're stressing about money, and you're stressing about money for something. It's like what it is you want to be fair. You want to be fair, or you have to be fair, and it's almost like I'm getting a strong sense of hard work here, because the Eight of Pentacles I do kind of see it as a little bit of the long hours card. You enjoy what you're doing. You enjoy what you're doing, but there's an underlying reason for you doing it, and it's giving you some anxiety. Now, the other thing that I kind of get from this is that if you work in the legal system, maybe you're a lawyer or something like that, or you work for the court system, it could be that the other thing I kind of get with justice is it's about balancing, like keeping balanced. I do get the sense that maybe you might be burning. You know what I'm getting? Okay, here it comes. I think the universe, because this is a major arcana, this is the only major in the spread here, I think the universe is kind of cautioning you that you don't have to push yourself to a breaking point in order to get things done. You know, slow and steady wins the race, right? Because in the beginning of the week, you're doing just fine. You've got the start of your pentacle, you're in the boat, you're rowing, you're paddling along. But by the end of the week, look at how many pentacles this lady is kicking out. She's on her eighth one, and it's what this card kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of a little bit of assembly line, because you see the woman's hair is covered. Maybe this is some kind of production thing, where by the end of the week you feel pressured to have a certain level of output. The other thing about justice is you can feel like you're being judged. This is coming through. This is different, guys. Maybe you feel like the thing that I'm seeing here is that the other thing about the Eight of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles is very quality work. It's the quality over quantity card. And we did How to Tarot on this as well. If you feel drawn to check out that interpretation, please check out that video. All of the How to Tarots are on my playlist here on my channel. They're very helpful if you feel like a certain energy is resonating real strong. But what I'm kind of getting here is I do get the sense as if you're being judged for the level of output that you're creating, and it's stressing you out. But you know what I'm really feeling strongly is that you might not produce as much. Like you might not be kicking out the pentacles the way that other people are kicking out the pentacles, but the product that you kick out is quality as hell. What you produce is solid. So if you are being judged about your speed, please try not to. The other thing that I get is that it's almost like maybe you're staying up at night. I almost get the feeling like you're worried. One other thing I can kind of get with this is that maybe you're really you're working hard to keep the quality of your working life. It's almost like I'm getting a strong sense of quality. Like you're really working hard. Because I get a sense like this, what I'm kind of seeing is I'm seeing this judge almost like she's standing over your shoulder. Like someone's judging you, right? And I'm getting one of two feelings, and please, if this is resonating, please, if you're so inclined, please let me know. I either have somebody who's judging the quality of your work and it's stressing you out because you're not producing things fast, but you're producing quality product. Or the other thing that I get is that justice can also be legal proceedings, like filing for bankruptcy or something like that. And maybe it's on your mind, like you're really, again, times have been, if you're watching this at the time this reading posts, times have been hard. Times have been really hard, and small businesses have been hit so very hard, and employees, if you work for a small business, or if you work The other thing that I kind of get is that, you're trying to keep things on the level, right? We're just trying to get to a better place, just trying to move along, just trying to keep on trucking. And but what I kind of get here is that there's some kind of anxiety. You're working really hard to create quality things, but it's like you're awake at night. Um, I really get a strong sense like you feel like you're not producing enough, or that you're afraid that this is going to be taken away. Even though you're working so hard, you're afraid this is going to be taken away by some kind of legal action. You know? But your two oracle cards, and look guys, both cards are yellow, which is like the solar plexus, and it's under consciousness. And this is the number 4, this is the number 6, and then you have a 10 in the middle of the week. Justice is 11, and we've got the 9 and the 8. But the two cards you got is you got great gratitude, and you got deserving. You got deserving. So what I'm really getting here, guys, is that I really feel like oh, here we go. This is one other interpretation, guys, is that, you know how sometimes when we go through life, sometimes we think that we're not deserving of more, Sometimes, they talk about working smarter, not harder, but I don't like that expression so much, because just because you work hard at something doesn't mean that you're doing something foolishly, right? Actually, when you work hard at something, that's the biggest, I consider that an incredible sign of character. When you're industrious, the other thing that I get is that I love people who, one of my philosophies in life is that I would never ask anybody else to do something that I would not be able to, do myself. So, and that's a sign of a good manager too. Someone who's worked all of the positions that they lead for. The other thing is when somebody can take off the manager hat and put on whatever hat, that you need to. So, but what I'm kind of getting here is that I feel like you know what, this might be an inner critic too. You might be judging yourself a little bit too hard, because you're working hard. The other thing that I get is maybe you feel like things are not moving fast enough, and it really is just kind of seeking, because this is consciousness, and this is like the 9 of Swords is about being like anxiety, about really being up in your head. But here it says great gratitude and deserving. So, one other thing that I kind of get with this is that the 8 of Pentacles, a lot of times the 8 of Pentacles is being successful. And maybe you're feeling a little bit guilty. Maybe you are having a successful time in your life, but you feel guilty. Like maybe you're being offered a promotion or something like that, but something in your head is telling you that you don't deserve to have it. And I do this too. Sometimes when I look around me and I see all the suffering that's in the world, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this fair? That's justice too. Is this fair that I, should be moving up in the world when other people are struggling, But what I'm seeing also here is that great gratitude always reminds me that to get more in your life, there's a saying, it always says, when you appreciate what you have, the universe will give you more. The universe will give you more. And look at this, you guys have one pentacle, and the other thing about the 6 of Swords is that these two people are sitting in that boat, and all they have is the clothes on their back, right? But you sitting in the boat just with the clothes on your back, you're still having 10 of Cups moments. I do get a sense that you're a happy person. I think you're a happy person. I think you bring a lot of joy. The other thing is that this with the Justice being a major arcana, I feel like the universe wants to give you more, right? Wants to give you more. But by the end of the week, it's almost like you just have to, appreciate what you do have. We don't have it all, but we have what we have, and it's wonderful. And again, when you appreciate what you have, more will come to you. The other thing is that you see these two people, they both are in gardens with a lot of flowers. One other thing I'm noticing is there's quite a bit of flowers are in these cards, like the Ace of Pentacles. There's trees and flowers in this card too. So, you know, honestly, guys, I do feel like this might be some kind of promotion, or you earning more money, or you doing more. And you're working hard at it. But it definitely says you are deserving. You know, you see a castle in the background and you see more yellow. You know, just if you are having some kind of anxiety at the end of the week, you are working hard. And whatever you're producing is real quality. That's what I'm hearing, guys. You know, don't be hard on yourself. Don't feel like you have to, like, you know, the other thing is that if you're worried, if you feel like some kind of legal action is going to take away your hard, you know, your hard earnings, if you're anxiety prone about something, whatever joy is coming in the middle of the week, hold on to that. You know, hold on to that, because, you know, when you are grateful for those happy moments and you know that you deserve it, the universe is really going to take care of you. It's kind of like it's a circle. It's a circle of energy. And I feel like a lot of good things are coming your way. I really do. That sun is coming through the clouds. So, wow, guys, this is a really great week. You're having a good week. Definitely. The other thing that's beautiful about justice is that even if you do have to, you know, quote unquote, sit in front of the judge, you know, like, you know, if you do have to be judged about something, you're going to be judged fairly. That's the other thing about justice being in the upright, is that, you know, if you do have to be held accountable, the other thing is if you feel like you're being judged about something that you did at work or something like that, you're going to be judged fairly. And, you know, you would only be called out on what is necessary. Okay, so here's deck number 2. We've got the Morgan Greer with the beautiful piece of sea glass. So deck number 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. And middle of the week. Ooh. Wow, you guys are watching this, right? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. End of the week, please. Oh my god. Okay, please clarify. Second time we've had justice in the 3rd position. 7 of Wands. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, thank you. And this kind of came out in reverse. Okay, I am getting a clear message here, guys. There's quite a bit of swords energy, but don't be afraid. There are no bad cards in tarot. We read them, and actually with the 4 of swords, we've got a reprieve on the way. Okay. Well, this is really interesting. The energy I was getting before this card flipped out, beginning of the week, you've got the 7 of Swords and you've got the 2 of Wands. And gosh, guys, the first thing that came out of my head, first off, if you feel like this energy, anytime, if you feel like some kind of energy is resonating, but you want to kind of, excuse me, I've got a little bit of the hiccups. I'm going to try not to let it affect the read. If you see a card, and there are no bad cards in tarot, if you see a card that you're concerned about, please check out the Hat of Tarot. Sometimes, you know, even cards, you know, the 7 of Swords is the notorious card in tarot that we call it Mr. Sneaky Pete, right? We call it the trickster, the person who's sneaking away, right? The person who's trying to get over on you or flee the scene. But what we've got here is we've got the 2 of Wands here. So the way I'm kind of reading it is, what I'm really getting here, guys, is I get a sense, and we talked about this when we went through the 7 of Swords, Hat of Tarot. Sometimes the 7 of Swords can be somebody who is the double agent, right? And when I say double agent, I mean it's somebody it's someone who thinks one way but is in a situation or an environment where they cannot express themselves. Almost like, you know, when you watch spy movies, right? When when you go undercover, right? You don't believe what you're sent behind enemy lines, but your alliance allies with your side, right? And that's what you see here. You see somebody leaving 2 swords and taking 5 and sneaking away. But I don't want you to be worried. What I am getting from this, because we've got the Chariot in reverse and then we've got the 2 of Wands, what I'm really seeing here is that the beginning of the week, you are going to be sneaking away from a situation that you don't believe in. And what I'm seeing here is that I feel like this has been a long time coming. Like, I feel like this is not something that's not a surprise. I feel like for a long time that the 2 of Wands is about making a choice. And with the 2 of Wands, you see a hand there and someone holding. You see how there's somebody else standing there, and the person is holding up a globe. Like, this card, it's interesting. This card always talks about making plans, but when you look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, one rod is bolted to the wall and the other rod is in the person's hand, and you can see the person is it's a card about choice, but it is so clear that the person wants to go with the other rod, right? They want to go with the other rod. They want to go with the new option, right? And what is interesting is in this version you see one person, because you see the two blue gloves, and then you see this golden glove of a third wand there. This person wants to offer the world to someone else. And I really get the sense that you are the beginning of the week, and the fact that the 7 of Swords is at the crown, it's at the top of it, you're going to be verbally sneaking away from someone. Maybe you're talking to somebody, or what I'm seeing here is that you really, really want to choose someone. You want to choose some kind of action, and it doesn't even have to be a person. I'm getting kind of a vibe like I'm getting a little bit of a relationship vibe from this read. It could be business related too, just because the rod, the other hand that you see, it doesn't really look feminine. But what I'm getting is from the 7 of Swords, you were very entrenched with one side, or possibly maybe you were working for one company and another company is coming along and like, hey, come work for us instead. And you really, really want to go with that rod. But the Chariot in reverse is about, it's about being a little bit out of control. In the upright, the Chariot is about channeling the 2 forces, kind of balancing, reining in the 2. This is a card a lot about ego too. But when it's in the reverse, it kind of means that you're stuck. Either that or that those 2 horses, like your sense of self-control and ego is running amok. Like you don't have a strong, you're not reining in your emotions. So I'm just going to come out and call it, guys, because I'm seeing it's a pretty clear message. So I don't sugarcoat anything. But what I'm really getting from this is, if it's a business thing, you have been working, maybe you've been working for one company and there's another job or another thing that you want to go with, and you want to go with it. And what's been happening is you've been trying to make plans. Maybe you've been trying to do a very kind of easy transition, but it almost makes you feel like you're being deceptive, because you clearly don't want to stay where you're at. You want to go for the new option. The other thing that I get is that I feel like I'm hearing unbridled. So your ego is behind going for the new choice. And I think what I'm getting from this is you're not afraid. You know how most people would be like, here's my 2 weeks notice. You're not afraid to walk into someone's office and be like, okay, I don't want to work here. I'm getting, take this job and shove it. And I'm sorry, guys, but the other thing that I'm kind of getting from that is that instead of being real upfront about it, you're almost ready. Instead of walking into someone's office and saying I quit, you're ready to sneak away and go do this, and I'm with it being Swords, I'm hearing leave a note. So if this is work related, you might be leaving a note and walking away. If this is relationship related, I am kind of hearing also leave a note, but it's almost like Dear John. It's one of, or Dear Jane, or, you know, assign the genders as they resonate. But I just get a clear sense that you've wanted to, the beginning of the week, you wanted to walk away for a long time, and you knew that this other choice was what you wanted. The other thing that I get, please tell me, I don't know where this is coming from, guys, but you know when you just hear it, when it pops in your head, it's got to be something about a car. Something about a car. Like, it's almost like the other thing that I kind of get is that you've really wanted to just, the only thing that's keeping you from up and leaving is you're not able, you don't have a mode of transportation. That's what I'm kind of getting. Like, the only thing, if I had a car right now, I would just, it would be, you know, bye Felicia, you know, like, that's what I'm kind of getting. But there's an element of secrecy here. Like, this person is not sneaking off. They're not coming up to someone's face. They're sneaking off in the middle of the night. They're leaving a note, right? But the other thing that I kind of get is that this willpower is unchecked. So I get the strong sense that you have a choice. In the beginning of the week, you have a choice to stay with what you've been with, either situation, job, or person. This can definitely be a relationship. But you either had a broken down car, or but what I kind of get is, I do get that kind of blatant, like, I'm out of here. That's it. I'm out of here. I know that I've been wanting, I'm going to go off with this other rod. You know, choice made is kind of what I'm getting. Choice made. But I get the sense that you're not telling the other job or the other person to their face. You might be leaving a note and just kind of walking out. And definitely with the Seven of Swords energy, you know, it's okay. I highly encourage that you watch the How to Tarot if this is resonating. Watch the How to Tarot for the Seven of Swords, because he's not all a bad character. Sometimes it can be those situations where you really, I'm sorry, we were out of focus. Sometimes it can really be those situations where you can't speak your mind, right? Like, the Seven of Swords can definitely be, it is that deep behind enemy lines kind of energy, where if you spoke your truth, you'd get your ass beat. So, pardon my French, but it's kind of like that. It's almost like you have no other choice but to sneak away. But here with the Chariot in reverse, I get the sense this is completely blatant, like, you know, peace, throw up the deuces, but you're leaving a note. You're not telling the person to their face, and you're very clearly choosing something else. Decision made, I'm out, had enough of this. And the thing that hurts about the Seven of Swords is that if this person was not aware that you were feeling this way, it does feel deceptive, because it's just kind of like, again, it feels sneaky, because, you know, when you disagree with someone or you have an argument with someone, and believe me, I'm Libra, so I'm a little bit of both sides. Sometimes I don't like conflict, but I'm real quick with the truth too. And people do not appreciate how sharp my mouth can be, but they sure as heck come back later and say, well, I'm glad that you told me what you really thought and didn't just lie to my face. I'm not trying to say that you're a liar, but I'm just saying there's something about this situation where it's almost like you feel like you have to sneak away. And that's the energy at the beginning of the week. I really do kind of get, there's no Tower here. Can we get one card for the Seven of Swords? Just to, oh my God, guys. It's the final straw. Okay. And again, no bad cards in tarot. Don't be afraid of this. This is nothing surprising. You're walking away from something that it's like the last straw. You've held me down. This might be like a codependent relationship. But yeah, it's just the final straw. It's the final straw. It's kind of like put a fork in it. This is done. But The other thing I'm kind of getting is with the chariot, you know, the chariot in the upright, it takes a lot of strength to hold those two horses in tandem. And in the reverse, it's like, I'm getting a strong feeling like I'm not gonna put any more energy into this BS is what I'm kind of feeling. So you're not even gonna tell this person. The other thing is that I'm getting a sense like if you have to walk away from someone, they know damn well why they're walking away, but you're still not telling them to their face. I am getting a Dear John letter from this. I'm so sorry, guys. That's such a crappy way to begin the week. Well, technically the beginning of the week does kind of start around Sunday, Monday-ish. But that's a shitty Monday. Sorry. I'm sorry. Middle of the week, it just does get progressively better. There are no bad cards in tarot, but you got a few whoppers there. But the other good thing about this is the ending of a cycle. Because the beautiful thing about the Ten of Swords, and this one's particularly bloody, but cool thing about the Ten of Swords is that it's the last pain that you will experience from this source. It's the last pain that you'll experience from this source. I do get a sense it's your energy, though. I don't think this is happening to you. Is this happening to Pile? No. 7 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. That's the second time 8 of Pentacles. No. Yeah. The other thing I get from this, okay, I'm getting a whole message. You tried. That's that 8 of Pentacles, you tried. Leading up to this, you tried real hard. I think you tried to make something work. And you finally just said, screw it. It was the last straw. It's the last straw. If this is something that someone's doing is doing to you at the beginning of the week, it's not going to be a shocker. It's not going to be a shocker. I don't sense any. There's no lightning here. And the other thing is with the Ten of Swords, those swords were put in one at a time. So, you know, you're definitely aware of what's going on here. But honestly, I get the feeling like you really don't see it as sneaking away because the things the person did to you were far worse. It's almost like sneaking away or not giving them a reason. It's like self-preservation is what I'm hearing. Now, by the middle of the week, this is really interesting, guys. In the middle of the week, you got the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and you got the 5 of Swords. You got more swords. In the middle of the week, honestly, you know what I'm kind of feeling here? If this is some kind of relationship thing, someone's father might be involved in this because we've got an Emperor in the mix too. Someone's father might be involved, but what's going to happen is I don't think this is your energy. What I'm strongly getting here is I think the King of Pentacles in the reverse is a separate person. This is a greedy person. This could be someone who lent you money. This could be the person that you were sneaking away from or trying to get away from because the devil energy, you see the pentagram, which is like the pentacle. Again, you might have been held back by someone who was trying to keep you trapped with money. But what I'm kind of getting here is that if this person lent you money, then they're going to try to call in. They're going to try to call in their liens. I get the sense that this person's going to try to crush you. And I don't mean this in a scary way. Again, if none of this is resonating, you do not need to take it. You can pick a different pile. But if this is resonating, it is not going to be a surprise. This is a little bit of a power play kind of energy. The other thing that I kind of get is that if this is a person that the other thing is that I'm getting a strong sense that you're not surprised. Please clarify the King of Pentacles in reverse. We got a tap. Page of Cups and Strength. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, it's almost like this is either, if you're a woman watching this could be, if you share a child with someone, this can be someone who's really trying to do a power play with you using money. They might be trying to pull money back or saying, okay, if you're going to walk away. This person's been very toxic to you, and you had enough and you just walked away. You have not agreed with this, and it's almost like on a real whim, you just went away. But this person is going to try to conquer you. That they're going to try to make this a win-lose situation. But the other thing that I kind of get is that you're approaching this in a really great way. The Page of Cups is a real open heart energy, and you're being so strong. You're being so emotionally strong. The other thing that I kind of get is this: if this does involve a child, you're just like, screw it. I'm taking my baby, and we're going to go do our own thing, and we're going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. It's almost, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing bring it. I'm hearing bring it. It's almost like you knew this person was going to try. The other thing I kind of get is that this person's going to try to exert control. But you're doing the right thing because you're keeping an open heart. The other thing is if this does involve a child, you're being strong for your child. But I do kind of get the sense like someone's trying to withdraw money, or someone's trying to conquer you, trying to be, they're trying to do a power play by being greedy or using money to kind of try to manipulate a situation. But I think you know who this is. I think you know who this is. This is not a surprise of who this is. And the other thing that I kind of get is that I feel like what the universe in the middle of the week, especially if there's this much kind of negative energy around you, if someone's trying to come after you financially or try to abuse you financially, the pages are learners. It's almost like that innocence of just trusting that everything's going to be okay. Hang in there. Hang in there. But you'll know who this person is. It won't be a surprise. It won't be a surprise. The other thing that if this is work related, this could be the boss that you're walking away from. They might be trying to do something like, okay, I'm going to ruin your reputation. You won't, if you try to, you won't be able to put this person's name on your resume. That's for sure. But yeah, maybe they'll just try to do something like, affect your reputation or something like that. One other thing I'm kind of getting from this, and this is going to be a strange message. Again, if this is not your message, I think this might pertain to one or a few viewers, not everyone. But one other thing I'm kind of getting here is if you are a guy watching this, or, again, gender doesn't matter. Sign it as it resonates. I mean, you could be a woman leaving a guy. I'm getting a strong sense that if this is relationship related, you kind of walked out on somebody, on a girl or a person, and their father is wicked pissed. You know how sometimes when you start dating someone, maybe their family members start kind of investing in you. Maybe they lent you money, maybe they gave you a car or something like that. Did something to help kind of invest in you. I'm hearing invest in you. And it's almost like you walking away, from their person or their family member, because I'm getting because the other thing with the King of Pentacles, he's a real family guy. It's almost like, it's like game on. Okay, it's like a deal breaker is what I'm hearing, and this person is really going to be out to try to extract money from you. I'm getting kind of like loan shark or something, like real, and I'm sorry guys, this is a crazy week, but this will not be a surprise. If this resonates for you, it will not be a surprise. The other thing that I kind of get is that, again, I'm getting kind of, if it is work vibe, this would just be like a boss who's just wicked pissed. Again, I'm hearing I invested in you and you just walked away. But you walked away for something that you felt would serve you better, and you felt like this other situation was abusing you. I feel like abuse here. It was like the last straw. Now, by the end of the week, it looks much better. First off, the universe is saying, be strong. Just, it's gonna feel counterintuitive. You're gonna feel like innocent, like you're gonna feel real vulnerable. But, stay in an open heart energy. Don't, whatever this person's threatening you with, this is kind of a power play, because this is a real power play kind of card. I do get this feeling like I'm just hearing game on, game on. and there's money involved here. There's money involved. But by the end of the week, the other thing is that all of these characters are looking towards the past, right? It's almost like everybody's evaluating what's going on here. But by the end of the week, we've got the Emperor and we've got Justice in reverse. So, wow, guys, there's a few things going on here. If this is relationship related, this could very well be the start of some kind of separation. And you might feel like, I really get the feeling like very powerful men are in play here. If this is your energy, you might be stepping into your power. Like you're finally just saying, okay, I walked away, I'm done. You know, it is my way now. And the other thing that I kind of get is that you do have this kind of planned out. You have this planned out. But the root of this energy is justice, but justice is in the reverse. So, gosh, guys, the way that I kind of read that is that someone might be coming at you. There might be something going on that's kind of legal. And someone is coming out. Someone might be trying to sue you or try to control. And these are powerful men. These are powerful men. The King of Pentacles in reverse. That's someone who has money. One other way I kind of read this is in the middle of the week. You might feel like by walking away from either the job or the person, you might feel like you're poor. Like you're not the King of Pentacles, like it's almost like it's almost like you're defeated. You might feel like defeated. The other thing that you might feel is you might be feeling a little bit like a coward, but what it's telling you is just, just listen to your heart and stay strong. Money is not the root of happiness. It's really not. And by the end of the week, I feel like you're going to be, because the other thing about the Emperor is that he is a strong character. He knows what to do in every situation. So if I am seeing some kind of firestorm going on. Somebody left a situation. They needed to because it was toxic. It was like the last straw. They had enough. And I feel like that person was you. I think you were justified in leaving. But it's going to get very complicated because it's going to cause legal problems for you. Maybe someone will try to sue you. Maybe someone will try to come after you financially, and you don't have the money to give, or again, somebody's going to do some kind of power play to try to extract what they invested in you, quote unquote. But I think by the end of the week, the other thing is that the other thing I get from this is if you're coming up in the Emperor energy, if that's you, you're going to be, I'm hearing the song Hangin' Tough. I know that's a really antiquated song, but things are going to feel unfair. Things are going to feel really unfair. If you did, in the beginning of the week, if you did what you had to do for your own health and sanity, but it created financial repercussions, it created legal repercussions, you're just going to weather the storm. You've got a plan. The other thing is the Emperor. It's almost like you're going to hunker down and you're going to just sit in your own strength, even if it feels unfair. Even if it feels unfair. Now, the other way I read it is that you could have really pissed off somebody in power, and they're ready to sue the heck out of you, or they're ready to come after you. And it's the other thing that I kind of get is that it is. I'm getting a sense that this is going to feel unfair. It feels unfair. It feels unfair. But the clarifiers that we got for this, so end of the week, it does look brighter. It does. It does look brighter. It's still some chaos. This is not going to be an easy for a week for you, Pile 2. It won't be an easy week, but don't despair. You do have the World, and you've got the Four of Swords. And gosh, guys, what a beautiful combination after all of that. It just kind of means this is a closing of a cycle. The actions are done. I'm hearing the actions are done. It's done. I'm hearing it's done. I think that you've been looking to walk away from something for a very long time. And believe me, especially with devil energy, if you were in relationships that were really draining, like soul sucking, yes, the moment you walk away, it's gonna start off a shitstorm, right? It is. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a little bit of a shitstorm. But it's one of those things where it's the good kind of change. It is the good kind of change. If you are doing this in the name of your best interest, that's always encouraged. If you borrowed money, or if it results in some kind of, I get the sense that even if it results in financial loss, even if it results in someone defeating you, you're gonna come back. Just hang in there. It's gonna feel really unfair. It's gonna feel unfair, but it's the end of a cycle. It's the end of a cycle, and after this you can rest. Right? That's the other thing. The other thing that, and I highly encourage, if you didn't catch the Four of Swords How to Tarot, we talk about that. It's like I'm hearing it's done. The deed is done. The action is taken. There's nothing else that you can do. If someone's going to come after you legally, someone's going to come after you legally. If someone's going to try to pull a power play, that's what they're going to do. I think if you're going to see them coming, the other thing I'm kind of getting is it's almost like you're watching. That's the other thing I'm getting. You're gearing up. You knew that this. You know this. You know this situation of old. You know. I think you almost know this person, whomever this is. You know them of old. Like, you know how you can almost predict. That's what I'm getting with the Emperor. It's because he's the ruler of kings. You see how this person is gonna. It's almost like a game of chess. I'm hearing Queen's Gambit. If you get a chance to watch that, I finally watched that after many recommendations. It was really great. You know, the King's Gambit, honestly, but it's almost like moves on a chessboard. You can predict what they're gonna do, and that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But this whole situation feels unfair. But you're gonna weather it out. One other thing I just want to point out is that Justice is ruled by Libra, and the Emperor is ruled by Aries. You can even see the ram in his throne. And with Justice in reverse, it's almost like, did you piss off a Libra? Did you piss off a lawyer? But the Four of Swords is a really great card, because it means what's done is done. If someone's going to come after you, they're going to come after you, and all you can do is wait and prepare and take action. And that's what I think you're doing. You're buckling down. By the end of the week, it's gonna feel imbalanced, and it's gonna feel like all over the place. But you're ready. You're ready to close the cycle. And it is also telling me that you've had a lot of activity this week. When you get a chance to kind of pull away, what's done is done. What's going to happen is going to happen. Try not to stress over it. If you get a chance. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that you're going to be sleeping or meditating. It's you gotta take some downtime. You gotta take some downtime to kind of recoup. Now, one thing that I'm kind of seeing here is that you got the card New Supportive Connections, but you got it in reverse. So I definitely feel like, what it is that I feel you're going to feel like it's best to just kind of, you've got enough on your plate right now. I don't think you're going to be talking to anyone. I think you're going to be sleeping and trying not to think about what's coming. But I also just kind of take this as with the King of Pentacles in reverse. I think you feel like it's unfair. I think you feel, the other thing about the Emperor with Aries energy is that it's very independent energy. It's very like, I don't need anybody. I can handle my own. I'm okay on my own. And I'm so sorry, guys. It also makes me feel like, especially with strength, that you feel like no one's there for you. Like you don't have anybody to lean on. Let me just get one other card. We did choose 2 cards for the first deck. Can we get one other advice first deck? Okay, this one's tapping. Oh, gosh. Oh, I see, guys. Okay. That makes so much sense. All right, guys. You got victim mentality. Oh. Can I come through the camera and give you a hug? I think you need one. I'm sorry. Yeah, guys, you just feel like it's terribly unfair. You know what I'm also hearing is, why do I have to be so hard all the time? Why can't I let my guard down? Why is everyone... Yeah, I'm hearing... God, guys, I'm hearing your thoughts. Why... And there's so many swords here. It's all thoughts. I'm kind of seeing it with the 4 swords. I think it's real important to try to disconnect. I know I know everything's going to shit right now. I'm sorry. It's not going to be an easy week. But by the end of the week, I think you're going to feel like you've made progress. And honestly, you walking away or doing what you got to do, it was going to trigger this anyway, right? The other thing I'm hearing is it had to happen sometime. I'm hearing that very strongly. It had to happen sometime. So, you know, whether you did this a month ago, whether you waited until next week, it was going to be a storm either way. But I'm so sorry, guys, because the Emperor he's a tough cookie, but it also gets you into, it does get you into a victim mentality. It's like, why does, the other thing is that you do see this person looks like he's tied up, right? And even the bed, it looks like one of those prison beds. I'm so sorry. But the other thing that I see here is that you've got books and you've got an hourglass. So things, you know, this experience taught you, and as all tough experiences do, and things will get better in time. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that song by Leona Lewis, Better in Time. So if you get a chance to hear that, she has a beautiful voice. And yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. You probably feel like just, I get the sense that everybody in your sphere, you feel like everybody in your sphere is against you. But there's nothing wrong with doing what you feel is right. It's just, of course, you know, if there's financial matters or if there's, you know, obligations, those are going to creep back up. But you know, things will get better in time. Things will. Okay, so just hang in there. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to deck number 3. I really love this deck. I need to pull it out more. I've got so many tarot. It's just redonkulous. But we've got the Sun and Moon Tarot, and we got Strength again. Wow, guys. We've got quite a few themes here. 8 of Pentacles, Strength, Justice. So beginning of the week, what is the energy? Deck 3. What's energy? Oh my gosh. You guys saw that, right? It flipped and tapped. We got Strength again. Oh my gosh. Just for the record, we did have the Wolf Moon. It's actually tonight as I'm filming this reading. So it's not next week. It will be already past the full moon in Leo. Okay, middle of the week. Oh my gosh, Major Arcana again. End of the week. Major Arcana in reverse. Can you clarify the Sun? Empress. 7 of Swords. Holy Toledo. Wow. The Sun, even when it's in the reverse, is a very positive card. Nothing can dim its light. And we've got, this isn't the moon card, but it's a big moon, and we got a big sun. Courage. Let's go ahead and get a second card. Everyone else got a second card, so I'm not going to shortchange my pile 3. You got less cards, but you got, these are all majors. So, yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, any other advice? Oh, thank you. Courage and decrease. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Now, I always say it's true when you see all majors in a weekly read, it doesn't mean that like some kind of astronomical event is going to come out and like hit you and it's going to be a crazy week. No. What it kind of means is it just means that, you know, when you have bigger life events, like for instance, my father passed away a few years ago. So, you know, someone passing away or, you know, having a baby or graduating college or getting a new job or moving from one side of the country to the other. It's almost like a ripple effect. It's like, I always say it's like gears of a clock. You have a bigger gear, like a major life event, that turns the smaller gears of your life. Like when you have a baby, your life is never the same. You have new financial responsibilities. You're raising a new young soul into the world. So when you see this much major arcana energy in a spread, it doesn't mean that, you know, crazy things are happening. It just means that these bigger life events, you're feeling them more on a weekly level. Like these, you're going through some major changes, and you're feeling those bigger changes of your life more presently in your life right now, on Monday, on Wednesday, on Friday. Now, beginning of the week, you've got strength, and this is such a beautiful card. And what you see is you see a girl sitting on a wolf, and she's got a snake crawling up her leg, and then the wolf is looking at a butterfly, right? Um, the other thing is that this is a totally gorgeous moon, and the girl's not even looking at it. Like, she's just looking at the ground, which is totally uninteresting. But the wolf is howling at the moon and seeing the butterfly, right? I feel like at the beginning of the week, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting a lot of behind the scenes energy. I'm getting behind the scenes. The gears are turning behind the scenes, but you don't see it yet. The other thing that I kind of get is I'm getting a strong sense, and I'm just kind of feeling this, guys. I love moon energy. I have a lot of the astrological sign of Cancer in my chart. Like, I have a whole stellium of Cancer in my chart, and anytime the moon is full, like, I can go out there and it's like I'm like, if you've ever seen the movie Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, when she goes out and on her lawn. Ellen Bernstein, she goes out on her lawn and she's like, we are the moon people. We are the Yaya. You like that whole ritual. If I could do that, I need to create a crown made of all the stuff that I care about. But what I'm sensing here and what I'm feeling here is I think that you feel a little bit lost at the beginning of the week. I think you've been feeling lost for a long time. There's something kind of calling to you, like, again, that wolf howling at the moon. There's something calling to you, but you're not paying attention to it. I also get a sense that what's happening is, I think the universe, there are some things in life, sometimes when you want to control your destiny, let me preface this a little bit. I'm sorry to jump around, guys. I just want to describe this the best way. We are all control freaks, right? And there is such a thing as free will, right? Free will really trumps all. If you say, I don't want to do this, or I want to do it my way, that's all that matters. That's what's going to happen, right? But the other thing is that if you believe in a higher purpose, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in the higher order of things, if you look at a spider web, if you pull on one little thread of that spider web, the whole thing collapses because it's all interconnected. The universe, the stars, the planets, the gravities, God, everything is intertwined. And it is a massive system. Like, these are all majors. It's a massive system that we can't even begin to comprehend, right? There's so much that just works silently in the background that we don't even realize is there. And it's one of those things where when you send out a prayer, or if you ask for something, like create a visualization, the universe wants to bring that to you. But sometimes, if sometimes you've heard the saying, like, if you fall in love with someone and they're really not good to you, and then all of a sudden they're removed from your life, like they break up with you or they leave, they say that rejection is God's protection. But I just use that as an example because, like, with strength, it's like this whole image speaks to me of you wanting something, and it's almost like you want to take action, and you want to go, you want to do things, and the universe is setting up something. I'm getting a strong sense. This whole spread, the universe is setting up something. And I know this is real woo-woo for just a weekly, and I'm going to get back to normal in just a minute, but what I'm kind of getting here is beginning of the week, you're just going to kind of feel like something is missing and you don't know what it is, right? You've got these major planetary things going on right behind you, and you're staring at the ground or listening to the snake. The other thing that I kind of get is you're just feeling kind of blue. You're feeling a little directionless. But what I get from this image with the butterfly, which means transformation, something is being set up in the background. Something is going on below the surface. And it is going to give you everything that you want. I'm hearing it real strong. It's going to give you everything you want. It's just, you feel a little lost right now. Like, you don't, it's so funny as humans, if you're in North America, as Americans, we always feel like we have to have a path. We have to have everything mapped out. It's got to be, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to make this kind of money. I'm going to buy this kind of house and I'm going to go on to this. The moment that we have those times when we feel like it's out of our control, or those moments that we feel like, okay, we're not following my game plan, you can feel like this. And what it's telling you is, the other thing about strength is it talks about controlling your base desires, right? And what I kind of feel like is, I feel like your base desires really are calling out for something more, but you just feel like sitting still, or you don't know where to go. So the moon's energy is really about feeling something churning underneath the surface. But this is the strength card, but I'm really drawn by how the moon is here. And then later we have the sun, and those are two polarities. The moon reflects the sun's light. So beginning of the week, you're going to feel maybe you have a real blah day at work, or I get this strong sense like you just feel like, I'm hearing same soup, different bowl. Like the days are just same thing. So you're going through your regular routine, and it doesn't feel like anything's different, but you feel kind of a little bit of a listlessness underneath the surface. And I just want to just let you know, I feel like there is something going on here. Bigger gears are turning, and I feel like it's just asking you to be patient. I think it's also asking you to kind of get in touch with, if you are feeling lost, get in touch with your intuition. The wolf is really about primitive. The other thing that I get with strength is it's also about, be kind to yourself. Just because you're not, just because you don't have a specific plan, and that you're not pursuing those goals at jet speed, does not mean that you have no direction. Life is, and I know it's cliche, but life is a journey. There's no wasted moments, is what I'm kind of hearing. And I just feel like, and sometimes I get in that energy too. It's just a little bit meh. But what it's really reminding you is that if you are feeling a little bit like, get in touch with your base desires. Try to close your eyes and sense what it is that you feel like is missing, or what it is that's making you feel directionless, and kind of listen to that voice. I know a lot of psychologists talk about, being a comfort, like be a good listener to yourself. And that's kind of the energy at the beginning of the week, Be kind to your inner beast. The other thing is that this last full moon, the wolf moon, might have done kind of a doozy on you. If you have planets, especially your moon, if it's at the late degrees of any fixed signs, like maybe Taurus or Leo especially, because that would be a conjunct with the moon. That would make the moon real strong. Or what's the other two? Scorpio, if you have a late moon in Scorpio. Or a late moon in Aquarius. But the middle of the week, this is actually really great, guys. I love this card. It's so beautiful. In the sky, you see two different colors of sky, but then you see the yin-yang symbol. Like, that means balance, It means assertive versus receptive, And I think by the middle of the week, you're going to feel a little bit more balanced. The other thing that I get is I do feel like your angels are going to send you some good energy. The other thing that I get here is that when you see Temperance, she has 1 foot on earth and 1 foot on water. So what I'm kind of getting here is that you're going to feel, I think that you might, the other thing is the real nature scenes here. I think it might be good to get out for a walk. Maybe you get outside in the middle of the week. But it's talking about feeling grounded. That's the other thing about Temperance. The other thing I see here is that there is a keyword of art. There's a keyword of art. So maybe you do some kind of art project, and it makes you feel grounded. The other thing is that when I see cards like this that talk about feeling directionless, sometimes I get into this energy when I look at my hobbies and I think, oh gosh, I'm just wasting my time. There's no value in this and scrapbooking or blah, blah, blah. But then when you start doing that hobby, or you start flipping through your old albums or looking at the things that you've created, it does make you feel so much better. It makes you feel so much better. It makes you feel grounded. The other thing is that it's like recalibration. I think you are going to feel a little bit happier. It is going to take a little finagling. It's going to take a little bit of, kind of, again, the angel is pouring the 2 cups, which is fire and water. But the other thing I get here is that I get the sense that you're going to feel more balanced, and it's not really going to come from you. It almost feels like just all of a sudden, like a laser beam came down, like the rays of God came down, and all of a sudden you're feeling better. And I do think the other thing is with Temperance being an angel, I think it is your angels looking out for you. I think they know that you're going through a transition phase. But by the middle of the week, the other thing is that if you do have work during the day, I'm not seeing too much. I'm seeing kind of one person just about, except for the sun. I'm seeing about one person in all of these cards. Um, but but um, but I get the sense that sorry, my train of thought derailed. I do get the sense that if it is work related, it's kind of like it's a little bit of a calibration. Like you're even if you have to work long days and you're tired, or you're feeling kind of blue and blah, and it's just same old, or you're feeling like your life doesn't have purpose. By the middle of the week, you're going to be trying to shake things up a little bit. The other thing I get is that maybe in the middle of the week, one good thing to do is, if you do have a moment, I'm seeing a strong outdoors, and because this is daylight, if you get a chance, and especially if you're watching this at the time the video posts, the days are so short, and seasonal affective disorder is real, meaning that you're not getting enough sunlight, not enough vitamin D. If you have any opportunity, if you can just walk to the mailbox, if you have any opportunity to get outside, and especially to go somewhere new, to see a patch of grass that you've never seen before, and that can be anywhere. You can go to the other Target that's further away from you, just because it's a change of scenery. Do it. Wear your mask, adhere to social distancing, but do something that's a little bit different. And I'm seeing that with the cup. Shake it up a little bit to kind of, how you, when water gets stagnant, if you pour it from cup to cup, it helps shake it up, right? You're still in a transition phase, but do things. Also, if you do travel for any reason, take a new course, go on a back road, or take a different path. That little action really does a lot to help cure the winter blues and give you a new, like, feeling like if you can't be in a new direction emotionally or psychologically, go in a new direction physically, right? Go someplace new where you at least have something different to kind of focus on. Now, by the end of the week, this is real interesting. You got the Sun in reverse, and you got the Empress. So I kind of read this a few ways. One way that I read it is that the Sun in reverse can be kind of like something that you were looking forward to that fell through. Like maybe you had plans to go do something and then it just didn't happen, or maybe got postponed. The other thing that I kind of get is that if because this has 2 people on it, it kind of looks like a date. Maybe you had plans to get together with someone and they got rescheduled, and you end up calling your mother or seeing your mother instead. The other thing that I kind of get from this is that sometimes when I see the Sun in reverse, maybe you're planning for happier days. And the Empress energy is your energy. The Empress here, if you look at it, she actually has a bag of money. She has a bag of money and she's holding flowers. And she looks really cute. I love this Empress card. She's got little bunnies at her feet. So one other kind of way I can read it is if you are a mom, you might be spending some time with your kids. One thing I do kind of see with this, if this is your energy, you've got some big changes going on in your life. So if you do either spend time with little ones, I'm kind of getting the sense like they brighten your day, but it's not like you're completely out of the funk, but they do brighten your day, right? They do make you happy, but it's not like the all-encompassing carefree joy. You're still thinking about your life's direction. You're still thinking about your life's purpose. The other thing I get from this is that maybe your mom gives you a call, or you speak to like a nurturing mother-like figure, and they do brighten your mood. But again, it's not like you're completely out of your funk, but you're still they I get a sense like you might talk to a mother or nurturing person that might give you some perspective on how you're feeling. You know how sometimes when you're trying to keep balanced, or you're just feeling really kind of like not yourself, you talk to someone and it starts to make you feel better. You're not 100% better, but it gives you the pep talk. I'm hearing pep talk. The other thing that I kind of get instead is that um, one other thing that I kind of get is that you might get all dolled up. You might be looking forward to a date, but I do get the sense that even the date or the event is, it's almost like again like you're looking for things to make you real happy, and even if you go on the outing or you spend time with the person, it's still the sun is it's almost like the sun has a few clouds in front of it still, but it's going to be a fun time. It's definitely going to be a fun time. Um, but I am getting a little bit more of a mother or matriarchal kind of thing. I think that your mother's going to call you or give you some kind of advice. Either that, or you're going to talk to someone who's a real nurturing force, and they're going to shine some light on you on your feelings. You know how, just like kids say the darndest things, when I talk to grandparents or parents, people who have had life experience well beyond my narrow, point of view, sometimes just the little casual things or the stories that they share really help give you perspective. Maybe they were at some point at the same crossroads that you were at. Maybe they were at the same point where things were, kind of, transitioning, and they give you a little bit of hope where you just, I'm getting a strong sense of just not feeling like you have a direction. um, and that your cards are real interesting because you got the cycle card, and you know how we talked about this being life cycles, and it says decrease. So, one other thing that might be part of this energy is that definitely we all, and if you're watching this at the time it posts, it's wintertime. Wintertime is about hibernation and pruning, like cutting back. It's after the holidays, so it's the time that you reorganize, you purge, you get rid of things that that you don't need anymore. So maybe that's what's making you feel stagnant, is that you're feeling a strong sense of not, of not growing. But what it is this is your necessary time of decreasing before you jump forward, right? Spring always follows winter. One other way I kind of read it is by the end of the week, it's quite possible that you'll, maybe it's a payday, or you feel like you're being real nurturing, like you're in an Empress energy. I just get a strong sense that the universe is ready to turn you into this Empress, but your time hasn't come yet, right? Because the other thing is that the opposite season of summer is winter, right? And summer is when the sun is at its strongest. Winter is when it's at its weakest, right? The sun sign of Cancer, which rules the moon, is in July. The sun sign of Capricorn, which rules is a well live and a well in January, right? It's Capricornian energy. It's about it's cold, it's dry. It's about, you're not. The other thing I kind of get here is that by the end of the week you're gonna just kind of feel like your Empress energy is dormant, right? One other thing that I do get is that the sun is that one other thing that I kind of get is that I we all get like this too. If you are an artist, maybe you feel a little bit blah, like you love to create things. You love to create things, and usually it gives you a big thrill. But you might be lacking inspiration, or again, seasonal affective disorder. You just might not be feeling it as much, or you might be feeling like, oh gosh, what use is this? Now, and what I'm getting is by the weekend, you are going to get back into your creative mode. You're not going to be like walking on the sunshine, but you're still going to be producing something, right? So you might get back to the crafting table, whatever you do that's creative. You're just going to feel like it's going to be a good product, but it's almost like it's just not going to be like, it's not going to be like when you're at at your best, but it's still going to be good. The other thing that I kind of get is that it is going to make you happy. It is going to make you happy, but it's, again, you got a little bit of a fog. Now, the other one that you got is you got energy. You got energy, and it's number 1. And this card says courage. It says courage. And what's great is you see someone wearing armor, and you see them following. It looks like there's a path that they need to follow. And wow, guys, yeah, I get the sense that this week is going to be like a pulling back week. I feel like I'm hearing very strongly, this is your time to prune. This is your time to hibernate. It's your time to pull back and take no action. You're not going to be at your normal level of productivity, but your creativity is still there. You're creative, and definitely tap into that to keep the endorphins going, to keep yourself happy. But it's going to be a little bit of a balancing act. But all these majors, guys, I get a strong sense, and especially with the sun being in reverse, I think by the time summer comes around, I think by about July, your life's going to look real different. I think you notice that he's at the beginning of the path, right? He hasn't started down the path yet. So I do think that this week you're just kind of feeling it more often. I do also think that if you have planets that are more summery planets, like if you do have Leo in your chart or Cancer in your chart, I think that this might be a little bit of a winter blues week. But this is still very strong energy. This is all major, and you can definitely balance it. The other thing I get is that I really feel like your higher power, is going to help you. And but yeah, this week, the other thing I kind of get is that if you do get a chance to, if you really do want to put your energy towards something, it maybe reorganize something, or again do that kind of Marie Kondo purge. Excuse me. you know, Maybe box up things or sell things that you don't need anymore. And you can make that creative too. You can do that really creative, just because, maybe you can reutilize some kind of space, and make something beautiful. Um, the other thing I kind of get is with that money bags, maybe it's payday, or maybe you got your tax return or something like that, and it's giving you kind of that financial backing to do what you got to do. But I definitely get the sense like it's encouraging you right now. The way that you want to spend your energy is in a more restrictive, or again, a decreasing, this is a pruning, this is a paring down kind of time. Because the other thing I kind of get is that now is your kind of time to get prepared. This person's wearing armor for the journey. Get prepared now for that journey. It seems like you're kind of raring to go, but you don't know where you're going. Don't worry about that. Just get everything. The other thing I get is get everything mobile. Par down to what you need and what you have is on your body, ready to go, and it's going to be that kind of energy for the week. But wow, guys, oh my gosh. Per the norm, all 3 weeks were good. Middle week, gosh, guys, take it easy. There's no bad weeks in tarot. There really aren't. There's challenging ones, but you're going to be okay. And definitely, listen to that song, or, check out some of the How to Tarots for some of those toughie cards. I assure you, it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better because, the cut and dry meanings aren't always, bad or good. They're interpretable. So knowing all of the little nuances really does make you feel better. But I hope that you have a very good week. Please take care of yourself. If you're so inclined, please check back on Tuesday. We're going to be back with the How to Tarot, and this week we're talking about a good one. We're talking about the Seven of Cups. So I hope to see you then and catch you in the next video. Bye.